Hello grade 9 students. Today we'll be resuming our discussion on electronic configuration. At the end of this session, we will be able to determine the placement of an element in the periodic table from its electronic configuration. We start with an overview of the periodic table. It is composed of vertical columns or groups and horizontal rows or periods. The electron configuration determines the location in the periodic table. First, we start by defining valence electrons. They are electrons located in the last shell of the electron configuration. Let's take the nitrogen as an example. Nitrogen has an atomic number equal to 7. We see here the atomic model of nitrogen where we have the inner shell, which is K, the first shell, containing 2 electrons, and the outermost shell, which is L, having 5 electrons, where 2 plus 5 equals 7. So its electronic configuration is N equals K2L5. So we have 5 as valence electrons since the last shell contains only 5 electrons. The electronic configuration can determine the location of the atom in the periodic table, where the group is equal to the number of electrons found in the last shell and the period is equal to the number of energy shells. We recall that we have 4 energy shells, K having the number equal to 1, L having its number equal to 2, M equals to 3, and N equals to 4. Let's take the example of sodium, where it has an atomic number equal to 11. We use this atomic number in order to write down the electronic configuration of sodium, where it is K2L8M1, 2 plus 8 plus 1 equal 11, which is equal to the atomic number. We can determine the group and the row from this electronic configuration. The group is determined by the valence electrons, which is equal to 1 in this case, and the row is determined by the number of shell. The last shell we have here is M, and we have this diagram that reminds us of the shell and its numbers, so we see that M has a number of shell equal to 3. So the sodium belongs to group 1 and row 3. As we can see here in the electron in the periodic table, we have sodium located right here. This is the first row, this is the second row, and this is the third row. So it is in the third row and it is in the first column. Question. Calcium has an atomic number of 20. Specify its row and column in the periodic table. You can pause the video and try to solve it yourself. Start by writing the electron configuration of calcium, which is equal to K2L8M8N2. And the summation of all the electrons in the shells is equal to 20, which is the atomic number of calcium. We may use this electronic configuration to try to sort out the row and column of calcium. The row is equal to the number of shell. Our last shell is N, and its number, as we know, is 4. So we have calcium belongs to row 4. Then we have column or group, which is equal to the number of valence electrons. So the number of valence electrons is the same as the number of electrons in the last shell, which is equal to 2 electrons. So we have calcium belonging to that group 2. And as we see in the periodic table, calcium belongs to the row number 1, 2, 3, 4. Then calcium belongs to row 4 and to column 1, 2. So it belongs to group 2. Summary. When locating an atom in the periodic table, the group is determined by the valence electrons, which are the electrons located in the last shell, and the period is determined by the shell number. Also, valence electrons are the electrons located in the last shell. And lastly, we recall we have 4 shells, K, L, M, and N. and their shell numbers is 1, 2, 3, and 4 respectively. This is your homework. Kindly solve and submit privately via WhatsApp. And you're done. Thank you for watching.